I'm just not ready for another relationship right now. A lot of people ask me about this. It's been almost nearly 2 years since the relationship that I was in last time ended, and I have not thought about dating. Not seriously. I've not been on any dating apps. I don't want to do that right now. And this is one of these discussions that we often have in the living room, because people come to the living room because they want to unpack the end of a relationship. They want support with the end of a relationship, and they're trying to make sense of their feelings, their grief, the loss, and all of those things. And sometimes a point that people get to, like me, is where they've stabilized and they're okay, but yet there's no urgency at all, or no real interest in dating again. And I just really feel this right now. I really feel absolutely no worries and no urgency about meeting someone. It's so weird, because before this relationship, I think I was a bit more worried about it, and I really wanted to create that particular relationship. And right now, I am not worried. I don't mind if it happens next year, or if it happens in 10 years' time or longer than that. I just don't mind. I have this real trust that when and if the right person comes along, it'll happen organically. I'm literally so not interested in going on dating apps. I just don't think you will ever, ever, ever find me on a dating app ever again. And I used to do it like in my 20s and stuff, but now I just can't. I think I downloaded one last year for like 5 minutes, and I was like, oh my God, I've just swiped left on the entire of the city and beyond. And it just showed to me I'm just not ready. I am in the thick of toddlerhood right now. I'm rediscovering myself. I'm stabilizing my life. I just don't need that. I cannot imagine right now inviting another man to live in this house. I can't imagine it. Like, I don't want that right now, because I want to really create a lot of stability and a lot of safety. And it's really weird. Lots of women talk about this, but like, I feel like now that I've had a baby, the drive has just reduced massively. I don't know if that's like a primal thing. I think like before I had a baby, I was like, really, it felt a lot more urgent. And so I deeply understand anyone in this situation who's like really wants a family. And obviously for that you want a partner and you want to have that unit. And so I really, really get that. And then a lot of my friends, we talk about this, like having had kids and having had a baby, the sort of need for that has reduced like massively. And so it's more about like creating peace, creating stability, creating the life I want, creating like magic for me and for Noah. And then whatever comes as an overflow from that will be, maybe that will be right at the time, But I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, do I sound avoidant? Am I avoiding? I don't think I'm avoidant. I think I just genuinely am not ready. And I wonder, actually, it made me really think, like, I wonder how many people, like, appear to be avoidant but are actually just really, really not ready, not in a time in their life where they want to have a relationship, or that's like a high priority. They've got other priorities. Because I certainly don't think that I am like a classic avoidant, but I think that right now it's just not my priority. So maybe if somebody met me right now and was interested in me, and they were really, really keen on me, but I was not interested, it's not that I would be like dismissive or anything, but I'd have to literally say, that is not my priority. Right now, unless it was aligned and it worked and like spontaneously it happened and it was organic, then I'd be open to it. But at the moment it's just not something I'm like actually looking for, and I think that's okay. And you need to have permission to just for it to not be something that you desperately want right now. Like, I really, really, I'm not worried about it in any way. And I think like that shows like quite a lot of transformation in terms of like where I've come from, where I was anxious about it and like worried about how I'd come across. Now I genuinely think, if I don't click with someone, if this isn't easy, if this is me trying to prove myself, if this is like some kind of I don't know, me trying and trying and trying to make this work, I'm just not interested in any way. Like, it has to be so natural and so organic for me to open up to it. And actually, a few of my friends, like, I think they really want me to be ready to meet someone. They want me to kind of, one of my friends, it's so funny, she wants me to go to this Pitch Your Friend event where you go and she does like a presentation to like a crowd of people who are looking for a partner. Oh my God, it sounds like a nightmare to me, but I suppose it would be quite funny, like, to go along, but I'm not going. I'm not going to that. I'm just like, I'm purely in. I am focusing on my life. I'm focusing on stability. I'm focusing on creating something amazing. And it's not that, because some people might say, oh, you'll never be ready. No, people aren't ready. Like, it's like, saying, oh, like with me, with just the first example that's come to my head, I was never ready to do a TED talk, but yet I did the TED talk, right? I might never be ready. I was never ready to have a baby, but I had a baby, so maybe someone will come along when I'm not ready and that might work. I'm open to that. It's just that I'm not worried about it at all and I'm not looking for it, and that's probably going to mean that the universe is going to send me someone when I'm just not looking for it. I hope the universe doesn't do that right now, because I really am just like focused on like making my life work. But I am up for saying yes to life more and like getting out more, and who knows, organically it might happen, but like I say, it's not like a massive like need right now. And I think some of my clients in the living room have like struggled with, why don't I want one? Why don't I want a relationship? Why is that gone? Like, what's wrong with me? Like, sometimes I honestly just think like you go through times in your life where it isn't a priority. It doesn't mean that it's never going to be like something that comes around again. It doesn't mean that you're broken. I don't think I'm broken. I just think that I'm in this era of my life where like rebuilding, refocusing, realigning is more important than creating a relationship. Because if I was to create a relationship from where I am right now, like, it wouldn't be the relationship that I wanted, So I'm focusing on getting myself stable and in a healthy, good place before I need someone else in my life, And I think that's a healthy way to be, and it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. And I think a lot of people like need to hear that when they're in this era where relationships are just not a priority, So if you're feeling like that, me too. All is well. The right person will come along at the right time, if and when that ever happens. I think when I say if, a lot of people go, oh, what if I know? Well, what if someone doesn't come along? What if? Like, what's the worst case scenario? I always ask myself that. And then what? And then what? And then what would happen? And then I'd feel sad. And then what? And then what? Like, it's like, what do we make these things mean about us? Because, like, it doesn't actually have to mean anything about us, And I think that's one of the things, like, it's one of the pinnacles of success, isn't it? Like, having a successful relationship. But I think a lot of people put so much importance on that, and it makes them feel less than if they haven't got that. And I just don't feel like that at all anymore. I just used to, but I don't anymore. I know I can create a good relationship when and if I'm ready, and I know that it's all working out exactly as it should. But I thought I'd share this is where I'm at, so that if anybody else is in this place, that you feel validated in that experience. And wherever you are, even if you do want a relationship, obviously that makes sense too. But yeah, other things for me are a priority right now. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. If you'd like to come along to the living room, you can find out all the information about that in the link below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.